I'm Miss Kristin with the Rogers Public Library, and for Pajama Storytime this week, if you came in person, then you got to hear these books. If not, and you're just watching the video, I'll tell you about the books and you're welcome to come check them out at the library if you want to read them at home. And then I will also show you how to do our craft for today. So the first book we read is Itty Bitty Kittycorn by Shannon Hale and Lewin Pham. This is a precious story about this little kittycorn. Everyone else says that she's just a kitty, and that's all. But she knows deep inside that she's a unicorn. So this story is her quest to get the world to see her as she sees herself. But then a real unicorn shows up. What happens then? Check it out to find out and read it at home. This book, called Not Quite Narwhal by Sema, is a sweet little story about this creature finding out who she is. Now, she was born under the sea, and she believes she's a narwhal, just like all the other narwhals. But she's a little bit different, so maybe not quite a narwhal. So someday she decides she's going to go and explore. And then she discovers some other creatures who look maybe a little bit more like her. And then she has to kind of figure out her place in the world and living between those two worlds. It's a very sweet story. You should also check this one out. Now our craft for today, we are going to be making our own floofy pink kittycorn. So your craft packet will have everything you need except glue. So we're going to start out with our big pink poof ball. And then we're just going to glue all of these pieces on. So we have 2 eyes, 2 ears. This jewel will be our kitty nose. And then some whiskers. And of course, her unicorn horn. This should already be glued into a little cone shape for you. If for some reason yours has come undone, just glue it back together. You might want to use a paper clip to hold it while the glue dries. It should still be in the cone shape for you though. So I'm going to be using tacky glue. You can also use school glue or hot glue if you have one of those at home and would prefer to use those and can do so safely. So for my tacky glue, I'm just going to put a little bit on the bottom of our triangle for the ears. And let's see, I think I'll do it this way. So I'm just going to glue the ear to the back of my little pink poof. And then I'll get some glue at the bottom of my other triangle ear. And glue that on. Squish it a little bit where you're putting the ears so that the glue holds onto these pom-poms. Next, I think I'll do my eyes. So again, just a little bit of glue on the back of each eye. And then I'll just stick it on the front towards the top. Same thing for our other eye. There we go. Now I'm going to take the whiskers and I'm going to glue them on first onto the front like this. So for these, I'm just going to make a little spot of glue on my pom-pom here. and gently place the whiskers into it. I'm going to put them at a little bit of an angle so that they'll stick out like this. And do that on both sides. And then, to further secure those whiskers on, we're going to glue our nose right on top of the whiskers. So we'll put some glue on the back of our little jewel for the nose. And then we're going to stick that right in the center of those whiskers to help keep them in place. Now, until they dry, if you hold it up, they'll probably sag, but once the glue dries, it'll stay up. And last but certainly not least, we'll add our unicorn horn. So I'm just going to put some glue around the bottom of the little cone. And then I'm going to stick it right here in the middle at the top between the ears. And here we have our little poof ball kitty corn. And once your kitty corn is all dry, you can play with them however you want. And the whiskers should stay in place. All right, there's our craft. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this program is done in person on Thursday evenings at 6:30. Get in your pajamas and come join me for Pajama Storytime each week. If you can't come in person, that's fine. You can watch these videos and you can pick up the craft kits at the library to be able to follow along and do the crafts at home. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.